At the regulatory level, what would be your take? Convergence of agencies, say of NCC and NBC. What would you like to see as ingredients, of these? For example, there are people who say, yes, scrap NBC and put it under NCC. There are people who say, oh, merge the two bodies. Definitely. Those two statements are coming from different mindsets and different levels of understanding, of a merger process. Do you have any particular thing to say about the way you'd like to see a merged regulatory body coming out of these two existing bodies at this time?
From the point of view of Nigeria of
now,
today,
yes,
there is a tendency to look at NCC as a goose that lays golden eggs, because by the deregulation of the telecommunications sector, NCC has been able to rake a lot of money in for government. NBC, on the other hand, by virtue of the kind of medium they are managing, has not been able to rake in that kind of money. And there's the tendency, particularly in a bottom line society like ours, to look at this from that point of view and say, okay, let NCC acquire NBC. What we need to be clear about is that NCC is managing a process of person-to-person communication, whereas NBC is managing a process of one-to-many communication. So we need to look at the relative effectiveness, the relative value of communication. What is the per unit value, per unit mileage of the information, the type of information that is being managed by these two bodies? So from that point of view, we need to look at the various strengths of the two organizations and thereby form a joint regulatory body that is not an ordinate subordinate, that has an ordinate to subordinate relationship, but that has the kind of relationship that is measured and determined by the effect and the value of the types of media that each one of them manage. So merging NBC and NCC in itself has value, because there will be a common table at which they can discuss the communication spectrum that they both use and manage. But it must be possible to have within this large organization relevant departments that oversee broadcasting, relevant departments that oversee one-to-one communication, and not necessarily see one as greater or lesser than the other.